Okay, right. So question 4. Now, I know we don't actually do throughput as part of our actual lectures. I mean, apparently there's the material for you to read, but it is very nice and straightforward. I think the word big, the word throughput is just a bit too big. Really straightforward. It really just says what's coming through, if you like. Let's just focus, and really this comes from this theory of efficiency ultimately. And in efficiency, we don't keep. The whole idea is it's very much about total quality management. So we don't want to hold on to inventory. We consider we're really focusing on, if you like, a type of contribution, but before labor. So we don't consider labor to be a variable cost. We're trying to really cut down. Again, I mean, when I say we don't consider labor to be a variable cost, what we're really saying is we're in the realms of machinery and high tech equipment where labor is becoming less and less relevant. So really, what's coming through really is sales or revenue minus just materials. So that's really the issue here. So that becomes like your, I don't want to say contribution, but throughput contribution. So far, we have studied just general contribution, as in revenue minus all our variable costs. But with throughput, when we talk about throughput, our focus very much is just on sales and materials. So in this case, this is telling us, and we use this again. I remember I talked in class about whenever we have a scarce resource. So if we don't have enough time, we want to make the product that's given us the highest contribution per scarce resource, if you like. And again, and this time, this machine is the scarce resource. So we want to make the one that's giving us the highest contribution, just however short or long the period is, just make as much as we can in that period. So the question is, what is the throughput here? So the throughput here, if you like, is the £2.30 minus the £1, and that's £1.30. So we're getting £1.30 every 2.5 minutes, if you like. So this is our contribution, our throughput contribution, every 2.5 minutes. This question says, what's the throughput contribution per hour? So if you're getting £1.30 every 2.5 minutes, the question is, how much are you getting every 60 minutes? If you like, ultimately, that's the key question here, right? And so, therefore, if you're getting £1.30 every 2.5 minutes, that means that for every minute you are getting £1.30 divided by 2.5, right? So that means that for 60 minutes you are getting £1.30 divided by £2.50 times 60, and that takes you nicely to £31.20. So the throughput contribution per hour is £31.20. It's very much about constraints and bottlenecks, but the key point here is the fact that we have a limited resource, which is this apple sorter. We don't have enough of it, so we need to think who is giving us the greatest contribution for every minute we are making apples through it. So again, another concept within relevant costing. Cool. Let's quickly kick off question 5. Forgive the gentle noise in the background. It's just trying to. I have little people running around in other rooms, so hopefully you can still hear me clearly. So question 5 here, we have here, this is a straightforward break-even point question, which is lovely. They make GPS watches. They sell them for 125, so your selling price is 125. Your variable costs £70 a unit. So this is just general contribution, if you like. And so your contribution here, if you like, that's 5. And that's 55. So your contribution per watch is 55. You have to cover an overall fixed cost of 605,000. So the question is, how many units would you need to sell to break even? And that's 605 divided by 55, which takes us to 11,000. That takes us to 11,000 watches, if you like. Right, and that's 11,000 watches. I think I can slip chapter 6 question 6 in here. Which of the following describes costs that have been incurred in the past? We've talked about this before. We're very much talking about sunk costs that have happened in the past and are sunk. Cool, great stuff. I'll see you in the next video.